I am extremely honored to be here, right? This is near and dear for me to be able to speak to people that impact people's lives. So how many people like to shop, right? So we like to shop a little bit. So I'm gonna tell you a story. So a few years ago, I've been married for 16 years. And when my wife and I was buying our new crib, right before we went shopping, she had her stuff and I had my stuff. So she was like, yo, let's go shopping. Let's buy some items and we can put it in the house, build this house together. And I'm like, that's cool, right? So you ever heard of IKEA? You heard of IKEA, right? So the first place I saw it was in New Jersey. So I was, when I heard that it came here to Michigan, she was like, yo, let's go to Michigan. Let's go to IKEA since they have one here. And I'm like, cool. So we went to IKEA. And if you know anything about Walmart, you go for one thing, like, dude, you walking out with a whole bunch of stuff, right? So IKEA is on that same level. It's like a whole bunch of stuff in there. It's beautiful, whole bunch of colors, just like making you want to buy more stuff. So I'm in there letting her buy what she want. So we get it. We on our way to the crib from buying all of this stuff. Yeah, we spent a whole bunch of money, right? So I'm on my way to the crib and I'm like, yo, who's gonna help me put this together? Right? I'm like who's gonna, because I don't have any kids at this point. Like there's nobody here to help me. So I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna do it anyway. Say do it anyway. Okay, so I get to the crib, so I pop open the box. And I look at it, and if you know anything about IKEA, when I open up that box, yo, there was instructions, but they was written in German. They was written in German, and it had a whole bunch of pictures. So, like me, when I go shopping, like not shopping, when I go to restaurants, I'm that dude who order off of pictures. Like if they got a whole bunch of words, I'm not that dude. So I'm like, cool, I'll follow the instructions. But at the same time, it still is written in German. So I said, maybe this next box I open up. So I open up the next box. There was no instructions in it. And it was like 1,000 little pieces inside of it. No instructions. And it reminds me how my dad left me with no instructions. All of these pieces with no instructions. He's there, but he's just a picture. He's just an image. So I'm like, how do I supposed to be this lights out dad, this lights out dude with no instructions? Just pictures. So you know how they say, just do what I do, do as I say, not as I do. Well, bruh, if I can't understand that language. You German to me. You German to me. So I decide that I'm going to still put this bed together. Say, do it anyway. Do it anyway. So I just said, I'm going to just go by the picture and I put it together. And I'm amped because now it's together and I go to climb on it once I got it done. And I look down, guess what I see on the ground? More pieces, bro. And a whole bunch of screws. But as I get onto the top of the bed, that bed is still rocky. And it's just like how my life was. Like still, like real rocky. And those screws that was on the floor, like many of us, and don't try to act like it may not be you. Those extra screws, you know what I did with them? I put them in a box. Come on, man. I put them in a box. Why? Because I didn't know what to do with them. I had no use for them, so I said put them in a box. So it's the same thing when these kids come through your door. Yo, they broken pieces. People just put them in the box and just say, yo, I'm going to drop them off with you. You fix them. But you like, yo, how am I going to fix you and I can't even fix myself? I'm broken myself. I have missing pieces. I'm 18, 19, 30 years old. You want me to fix somebody else? Bro, my dad left me. Yo, my husband at the crib, he wilding out. He hooked on drugs. I can't even pay my bills. And you want me to worry about somebody else who coming through these doors? You want to give me all these policies and procedures and my money ain't even right. Really? You want me to sit in all of these meetings? You want me to do more with less? Really? Kick rocks. I'm broken myself. I just want to ask you a question. Who put you in a box? Who looked at you and said, you know what, you're an extra screw. I have no use for you. And you know, with a box, they put that top on, right? It's dark. And you know who you in there with? Other screws. Other broken pieces. Other missing pieces. So that's what I gravitate to. So my thing to you is, I understand you're supposed to be trying to help people, but you can't help nobody if you ain't helping yourself. If you're not fixing yourself. See, we can do all of this stuff that we want. We can come to trainings. I'm telling you, we can read books. But if you're not real about your success, if you're not real about you, like what you really want, not talking about like, I want this and I'm going to be rich. No, you're not. Your work ethic doesn't show that you want to be rich. You ain't putting in that work. How many people said, wait till 2018 come in, I'm going all in. No, you're still doing the same thing. And the year's almost over. You're saying the same stuff, I just need you to shut up. I need you to stop talking and start working. And before you work, the first thing that you have to do is I need you to assess yourself. Say, do it anyway. You have to do it even when it's painful. You have to do it when it's hard. You have to do it when you don't feel like coming to work. Because you made a commitment. You made a commitment to yourself. When you get on an airplane, they go through their whole spiel, unless you're on Spirit. Right. You know what I mean? They like, read it yourself. But they go through their whole spiel, and they get to this one point when they say, in case of emergency, if we lose oxygen, oxygen's going to fall from the top. What I need you to do, if you're accompanying a young child, I need you to put the oxygen on your face first, and then attend to them. And many of you in this room is dying slowly. Not even taking care of yourself. Still having daddy issues. Still making excuses. I've learned to take every loss and turn it into a lesson. Because I refuse to allow what happened to me to dictate my future. I refuse to allow the water crisis to dictate my future. Let me tell you something. I travel this country and I speak to educators. And your boy graduated with a 1.7. And I tell that to educators at the end, because if I say it in the beginning, because they don't look like me. If I say it in the beginning, they check out. But I said, you know what, Mr. Malta, when I was a kid, told my mom to keep me back because I didn't have what it take. And she was like, nah, I'm not keeping my son back. But I heard him say that. Because he looked at me like I was that broken crayon. But I was like, Mr. Malta, you know broken crayon's still color. And I'm becoming a masterpiece. So this boy who was a 1.7 wrote his own book. Was going around the country. Well, I got people who endorsed it, who is traveling this world. If you heard E.T., the hip hop preacher, endorse my book. Coaches from the NFL and in the NCAA endorse my book. Why? Not because I'm sweet. Because I'm not going to become a victim. I'm going to use my losses that are perceived to be a loss and turn it to a lesson. I'm not a theory. You're not going to get rich off me. I'm going to get rich off my own story. Yeah, my brother got shot. This happened, that happened. I don't glorify it, but what I do, I use that story to go make money. So when I go into a place, I'm just telling you how you could turn a loss into a lesson. And don't look at these babies and just throw them away. I'm telling you, I go into a room, they say $3,500 I start with. If you want me to come and talk to you, I don't care if it's 15 minutes, I don't care if it's an hour, $3,500, that's where we start at. And the great thing, I get to choose where I want to go. And the thing about it, you can choose. When you take your life, when you say, you know, I'm going to get serious about my life, you can put yourself in a position to say, I choose to do A, B, C, and D. And you can still be sweet. You can still be the same old. But you can get that cake. And not only getting the cake, you can make a difference. You can make an impact. So yeah, I was in a box, like many of you, or those babies walking through the door. But you have to see their potential. Let me just say this. You can't expect somebody else to invest more in you than you do in yourself. Don't ever hold somebody to a standard that you're not willing to hold yourself to. We expect people to do stuff for us that we're not willing to do for ourselves. Like, let's be honest, like, you lied to me. You said you was going to do such and such, but how many times did you lie to yourself? Not lie to somebody else. How many times did you lie to yourself? So I want to inspire you. I want to tell you how to fix these other babies and when they walk through your doors. But Mr. Moses, I can't tell you to help them when you're not helping yourself. Because change first starts with me. So I had to accept that, Shon, yo, you got a problem, bruh. You fake. I had to tell myself I was fake because I was one thing in the community, but I was another thing at home. So I had to say, Shon, you know what? Yo, you need to deal with it. So I'm coming to a close. 3 weeks ago, not 40 years ago, 3 weeks ago, I was blessed to receive a football scholarship to attend Michigan State University. I blew it. Could have went pro, but I blew it. For years, I blamed the coaches, I blamed Nick Saban, blamed all of these different people of what they did to me. And during that time, I was supposed to watch some film of a game that I played. We got blew out by Nebraska 55-10. And afterwards, you're supposed to go and watch the film to see all your mistakes. But I knew I had a whole lot of mistakes, so what I did, I faked an injury saying I needed to go see the trainer so I didn't have to watch the film. Because I didn't want to see where I was making mistakes. 3 weeks ago, God said to me, he said, yo, you out here helping people, but you still haven't watched that film. I'm like, what? You still haven't watched that film? You mean to tell me I got to go to YouTube or go to some little 8 tracks where, like, the stuff that they had it on back then, they don't even have it anymore. So I had to go on YouTube, and somebody put it up on YouTube. Just my luck. I said, wow. So I closed my office door, sweating, like, yo, you out here changing the masses, but you still hurt. So I sat there and watched that film. As painful as it was necessary. And my question to you is, what film are you refusing to watch? What are you not addressing? What do you what do you refuse to deal with that's preventing you from getting to your next level? Not somebody else's, but your next level. So I encourage you to go back and watch your film. It's important. It's necessary. Your life depends on you watching your film. You need to see. You need to assess. You need to be honest. It said, I'm all talk. Or say, you know what, today, when I come in, I don't care how much they pay me. I made a commitment. I said, for this amount of money per hour, this is what I'm willing to do. You made a commitment to this organization. More importantly, you made a commitment to yourself. It's about integrity. It's about you being your best self, regardless of how much they pay you. If you don't like it, put yourself in a different position. Until then, serve. Stop being so selfish and serve. Just serve. How do I get to the next level? Serve. Serve your community. Serve the man or the woman sitting next to you. Just serve. When I started serving, people started coming to help me. This woman charges a lot of money for people to take pictures. And she said, you know what? God told me to be a blessing to you in this area, in this area, in this area. Why? Serving. And I was praying for people to assist me. That he comes out of nowhere. Hey, I want to use my talent to help you get to the next level. Serving. So my last story, his name was, he was a traveler from Spain. And he was going to Mexico. He had some things in between, but he's heading to Mexico because he wanted to take over that territory. And he had a whole bunch of men on a boat with him. And on his way, him heading to Mexico, he heard a lot of individuals on the ship complaining, saying, hey, I want to go back to Spain. I want to go back. I don't want to go over to Mexico and conquer this land. So he waited till they arrived over there in Mexico. And when he got off and he looked at all of the men that was on the boat, on the ship, and he said, I heard you on the ship complaining. And you said that we were going to go over here and conquer Mexico and occupy this land. But the whole time you were on the ship, I heard you complaining. And what he said to them was about 500 men on the ship with him. He said, look at those ships. And he had them all look at the ships. He said, you see those ships? And they all say, yeah. He said, I want you to burn them. I want you to burn every single boat that we came over here on. There is no going back. You made a commitment that we were going to this next level. I need you to burn every single boat. So I'm talking to you. If you say that you in it to win it, I need you to burn every boat in your life, every excuse. I need you to burn every insecurity. I need you to burn everything that's holding you back and to become the best person that you know that you should be. Thank you.